Hello everyone, and welcome to today's presentation. I'm excited to have you here as we explore a fascinating part of history. Today, we'll be discussing how secret societies, specifically Freemasons, have influenced some of the most famous historical figures. The theme for this session is famous historical figures who were Freemasons. Secret societies shape history, 1717 to present. We'll look at the impact of Freemasonry on leaders throughout the years and uncover some intriguing connections along the way. So, without further ado, let's dive into this captivating journey through history. Now, let's take a closer look at the introduction to Freemasonry and secret societies. These groups have long fascinated people due to their mysterious origins and influence throughout history. Freemasonry, in particular, is one of the most well-known, with roots that trace back several centuries. It's often associated with symbols, rituals, and a sense of brotherhood. But beyond the myths and legends, it played a significant role in shaping social and political ideas. Moving on, we'll explore some of the key historical figures in Freemasonry. These individuals helped shape the movement, contributed to its philosophies, and in some cases, influenced major historical events. Their stories help us understand how Freemasonry grew from a local craft to an influential force. Next, we'll see how Freemasonry intertwined with the American Revolution. Many founding fathers and influential leaders were Freemasons themselves, and their ideas about liberty, equality, and fraternity were often reflected in revolutionary ideals. This connection highlights how secret societies can impact broader societal change. We'll also look at Freemasonry during the Age of Enlightenment. This was a time when ideas about reason, science, and individual rights flourished. Freemasonry embraced these principles, promoting education, progress, and tolerance, values that helped drive societal transformation. Then, we'll examine the role of secret societies in the French Revolution. Similar to Freemasonry, these groups played a part in challenging the old regime, advocating for change, and inspiring revolutionary movements. Their influence underscores how clandestine groups can sometimes catalyze major upheavals. Moving forward, we'll discuss how Freemasonry spread across the globe. From Europe to the Americas, Asia, and beyond, its principles and symbols traveled far, adapting to different cultures and contexts. This global expansion underscores its enduring appeal and influence. In the 20th century, Freemasonry continued to evolve, adapting to modern societal changes. Today, it remains active worldwide, often emphasizing charity, personal development, and community service, while still maintaining its historical rituals and traditions. Finally, we'll address the criticisms and controversies that surround Freemasonry. Due to its secretive nature, it has often been the target of suspicion, conspiracy theories, and accusations of undue influence. It's important to understand these perspectives in the context of its historical and social significance. Throughout this journey, we see how Freemasonry and secret societies are intertwined with major historical currents, shaping and reflecting societal changes across centuries. Now, let's take a closer look at Freemasonry and other secret societies. These groups have long fascinated people because of their mysterious nature and secretive practices. Freemasonry, for example, is one of the oldest and most well-known fraternal organizations, with roots that trace back hundreds of years. It's often characterized by its use of symbolic rituals, secret handshakes, and coded messages. But beyond the rituals, Freemasonry emphasizes values like brotherhood, morality, and personal development. Secret societies like these have historically played roles that go beyond just social clubs. They've been linked, sometimes controversially, to political movements, influence networks, and even conspiracy theories. As we explore this theme, it's important to understand that many of these organizations operate on a foundation of tradition and secrecy, which naturally sparks curiosity and speculation. Connecting this to our overall theme, these societies reflect how human beings seek connection, purpose, and sometimes hidden knowledge. Their influence, whether real or perceived, continues to shape culture and history in profound ways. Now, let's take a closer look at what Freemasonry really is. At its core, It's a fraternal organization that dates back to the late 1500s. Originally, it grew out of the guilds of stonemasons, craftsmen who built some of the most impressive structures of their time. Over the centuries, Freemasonry incorporated ideas from the Enlightenment, emphasizing brotherhood, moral integrity, and a lifelong pursuit of knowledge. Its lodge system provides a structured way for members to come together, fostering a sense of community and maintaining long-standing traditions. Moving on to its principles and beliefs, Freemasonry is fundamentally built on brotherhood, charity, and truth. These values guide members to develop morally and personally. Rituals play an important role here. They serve as symbolic acts that promote enlightenment and ethical behavior. These traditions aren't just ceremonial. They help shape a community that influences societal values and individual character. Now, regarding its structure, Freemasonry is organized into local lodges, each governed by a Grand Lodge. Members advance through degrees, each revealing deeper philosophical insights. This hierarchy not only fosters a sense of progression and learning, but also helps uphold secrecy. This private framework allows influential members to collaborate on societal issues behind closed doors, which is often misunderstood, but is simply part of maintaining tradition and trust within the organization. Overall, Freemasonry's rich history, core principles, and structured organization all serve to promote personal growth and community service, which ties into the larger themes we're exploring today. Now, let's explore the role of secret societies throughout history. First, what exactly are they? Well, secret societies are organized groups that keep their membership and rituals hidden, often forming around shared beliefs or goals. These groups have played a vital part behind the scenes, influencing social, political, and cultural movements over the centuries. They've been involved in shaping major decisions and events, even if they're not always visible in the public eye. Moving on to their historical impact, groups like Freemasonry and others have left a significant mark on history. They've supported Enlightenment ideals, fostered connections among influential figures, and even provided platforms for revolutionary ideas. Essentially, they've helped shape societal norms and governance since at least 1717, which marks the founding of many of these organizations. Now, let's compare Freemasonry with these other secret societies. Freemasonry, which emerged in the early 18th century, shares many similarities, rituals, values of brotherhood, and influence on politics and culture. Its importance lies in how it has shaped leaders and created networks that influenced major societal changes. Overall, secret societies like Freemasonry have played a subtle but powerful role in shaping our history, often working behind the scenes to influence the course of events. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the key historical figures in Freemasonry. These individuals have played significant roles in shaping the development and spread of Masonic ideas throughout history. Their contributions range from influential leaders to notable thinkers, all of whom helped build the foundations of what Freemasonry is today. By understanding their stories, we gain insight into how Masonic principles have evolved and how these figures connected with broader historical movements. As we explore their lives, keep in mind how their ideas and actions reflect the core values of brotherhood, morality, and enlightenment that are central to Freemasonry. This helps us see the ongoing impact of their legacy within the larger context of history and society. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the key founding fathers of the United States and their connections to Freemasonry. First, there's George Washington. As a prominent Freemason, his involvement deeply influenced American ideals. His Masonic values, liberty, equality, and fraternity, weren't just abstract principles, they helped shape the very foundation of our nation. His leadership during the Revolutionary War exemplified brotherhood and mutual support, which are core Masonic principles. Next, we have Benjamin Franklin. He was a major figure in shaping American society and governance, and his Masonic involvement was quite significant. Franklin served as Grand Master of Pennsylvania, a role that reflected Enlightenment ideals, ideas of reason, progress, and civic virtue. His Masonic connections also helped foster influential relationships that advanced revolutionary causes and civic development. Finally, Thomas Jefferson, the third President of the United States, was also a prominent Freemason. His Enlightenment-inspired beliefs in liberty and democracy were deeply influenced by Masonic principles. These ideas played a crucial role in shaping American values and the way we govern ourselves, especially in the 18th century. So, as we see, these founding figures weren't just political leaders. They also embodied Masonic principles that contributed significantly to the ideals we hold dear today. Their shared values of brotherhood, liberty, and civic responsibility helped forge the American spirit we continue to uphold. Now, let's take a closer look at some key European figures and their connections to Freemasonry. First up is Voltaire, a towering Enlightenment philosopher and writer. He was also a Freemason, and his ideas about civil liberties, the separation of church and state, and the importance of freedom of expression really resonate with Masonic principles. His involvement in Freemasonry helped influence European thought and laid groundwork for modern democratic values. It's a great example of how philosophy and secret societies often intertwined to shape societal progress. Moving on to Winston Churchill, everyone knows him as a formidable 20th century leader. But what some might not realize is that he was also a Freemason. This affiliation influenced his leadership style and strategic thinking. The values of brotherhood and civic duty that he embraced within Freemasonry played a role in shaping his vision for Europe after the war and for global governance more broadly. It's a reminder that these secret societies often had a subtle but meaningful impact on political leadership. Finally, we have Louis XVI, the King of France at a pivotal time in history. He was a Freemason, and his membership reflected the Enlightenment ideals circulating among the educated and the powerful. His involvement signified a shift in political thought, moving away from absolute monarchy toward more enlightened, democratic ideas. Sadly, his reign ended tragically with the French Revolution, highlighting the tension between traditional monarchy and the emerging democratic ideals that Freemasonry often represented. Overall, these figures illustrate how Freemasonry was more than just a secret society. It was a network that connected influential thinkers and leaders, shaping ideas and actions during critical moments in European history. Now, let's take a closer look at the connection between Freemasonry and the American Revolution. During this period, many of the founding fathers and influential leaders were Freemasons. This included figures like George Washington, Benjamin Franklin, and Paul Revere. Their involvement in Freemasonry often provided a network of ideas, mutual support, and shared values such as liberty, equality, and fraternity. These principles aligned closely with the revolutionary cause. Freemasonry emphasized Enlightenment ideals, reason, individual rights, and the pursuit of truth, which naturally resonated with the revolutionary movement. In fact, secret Masonic lodges served as spaces for discussion and planning, sometimes even helping coordinate efforts against British rule. So, when we consider the broader theme of how secret societies influenced history, it's clear that Freemasonry played a significant role in shaping the ideological foundation of the American Revolution. It wasn't just about secret handshakes. It was about fostering a mindset of independence and challenging the status quo. Let's talk about how Freemasonry influenced revolutionary ideas, especially through Enlightenment principles. Freemasonry played a big role in spreading ideas like liberty, equality, and fraternity. These weren't just abstract concepts. They encouraged open discussions and civic responsibility among members. This created a strong sense of unity and purpose that really helped shape the core values of the American Revolution. Now, a key aspect was the idea of brotherhood. Freemasonry emphasized fraternity and equality, which fostered a sense of solidarity among members. This sense of brotherhood wasn't just for camaraderie. It influenced revolutionary leaders to see shared values as a foundation for collective action. It helped challenge tyranny and push for democratic principles. And then there's the aspect of secret meetings. Freemasons often gathered privately to exchange revolutionary ideas and strategies. These secret discussions allowed them to deliberate on concepts like liberty and equality without external interference. Such gatherings played an important role in shaping the ideological foundation of the revolution, helping to coordinate efforts toward independence. So, in essence, Freemasonry wasn't just about rituals. It was a catalyst for revolutionary thinking, connecting Enlightenment ideals to real actions that ultimately changed history. Now, let's take a closer look at some key Masonic figures who played pivotal roles in the American Revolution. First up is Paul Revere. Many of you know him for his famous Midnight Ride in 1775, when he alertly warned the colonists about British troop movements. But what's often overlooked is how his Masonic beliefs, like duty, vigilance, and loyalty, really fueled his actions. His ride wasn't just about history. It symbolized the Masonic ideals of standing watch and protecting the community, which in turn rallied revolutionary support. Moving on to John Hancock, he's best known for that bold signature on the Declaration of Independence. But beyond his flamboyance, Hancock's Masonic ties helped foster a sense of camaraderie among the revolutionaries. These connections strengthened bonds of trust and unity, which were crucial for making key decisions during such a tumultuous time. His leadership exemplified how Masonic principles helped promote solidarity in the fight for independence. And finally, we have Marquis de Lafayette. A French nobleman and a dedicated Freemason, Lafayette's principles of liberty and equality deeply influenced his leadership. His Masonic values helped shape his commitment to the revolutionary cause and motivated him to forge strong Franco-American alliances. His support was vital in securing the aid and resources needed to sustain the revolution. So, throughout the revolution, these figures illustrate how Masonic ideals, duty, unity, liberty, weren't just abstract concepts, but active forces driving the success of the American independence movement. Now, let's turn our attention to Freemasonry during the Age of Enlightenment. This was a fascinating period when ideas about reason, science, and individual rights were really taking hold across Europe. Freemasonry, in this context, became a space for those revolutionary ideas to spread and flourish. It wasn't just about secret rituals or brotherhoods. It was about promoting values like liberty, equality, and fraternity, values that aligned closely with the Enlightenment ethos. Many Freemasons believed in the power of knowledge and sought to foster intellectual growth, tolerance, and moral development among their members. This era marked a significant shift because Freemasonry became more organized and widespread, transcending local boundaries. It connected people from different social classes and backgrounds who shared a common interest in reform and enlightenment. So, in the broader narrative of our presentation, understanding Freemasonry in this period helps us see how secret societies weren't just about mystique. They played a real role in shaping modern ideas about society, governance, and human rights. Now, let's take a closer look at the Enlightenment philosophers and their influence on human rights and democracy. During this period, thinkers like Voltaire and Rousseau emphasized core principles such as reason, liberty, and equality. These ideas didn't just stay in the realm of philosophy, they had a profound impact on shaping modern democratic societies. Interestingly, these values align closely with Freemason ideals, which also champion brotherhood, moral integrity, and the pursuit of knowledge. Freemasonry during the Enlightenment served as a fertile ground for fostering these progressive ideals, encouraging individuals to think critically and advocate for social reform. The philosophies promoted by figures like Voltaire and Rousseau, advocating for individual freedoms and social justice, echoed the Masonic commitment to improving society through Enlightenment principles. In essence, Freemasonry helped inspire a movement toward universal human rights and democratic governance, principles that continue to underpin our societies today. Now, let's take a closer look at the role of Freemasonry in driving important social and political advancements. During the Age of Enlightenment, Freemasonry wasn't just about secret rituals or brotherhood. It was a powerful movement promoting core ideals like reason, liberty, and equality. These values inspired reformers to challenge traditional authorities and push for change. Freemasonry created social networks that helped support and spread these revolutionary ideas. Many influential figures who championed democratic principles and human rights were Freemasons themselves. Their connections and shared ideals fostered a sense of collective purpose that influenced significant reforms. For instance, key reformers like Voltaire and Benjamin Franklin were Freemasons. Their commitment to liberty, equality, and fraternity wasn't just personal, it shaped the political and social landscape of their time. These Masonic values became intertwined with revolutionary principles, fueling movements toward democracy and human rights. So, in essence, Freemasonry played a crucial role in shaping modern governance by promoting ideas that challenged old regimes and helped pave the way for more open, equitable societies. It shows how these networks and shared ideals helped inspire some of the most important reforms in history. Now, let's explore the intriguing connection between secret societies and the French Revolution. Throughout history, secret societies like the Freemasons and other clandestine groups have often been linked to revolutionary movements. While some of these organizations aim to promote Enlightenment ideas such as liberty, equality, and fraternity, their secretive nature has also led to suspicion and conspiracy theories. During the French Revolution, many revolutionaries were believed to have been influenced or even organized by these secret groups, which allegedly helped spread revolutionary ideas and coordinate actions. However, it's important to recognize that the actual role of these societies remains a topic of debate among historians. What's clear is that the atmosphere of secrecy and the desire for change fueled the revolutionary spirit. Connecting this to the overall theme, it highlights how hidden networks and clandestine influences can shape major historical events, reminding us that sometimes what's unseen can be just as impactful as what's visible. Now, let's explore how Masonic ideals played a significant role in shaping revolutionary ideas. The core principles of equality, liberty, and fraternity were championed by Freemasons and became powerful catalysts during the French Revolution. These ideals inspired revolutionary leaders to challenge the existing tyranny and push for civil rights. They envisioned a society built on democratic values, where everyone is treated equally and free to participate in governance. Freemasonry's influence wasn't just ideological, it was practical, too. Masonic lodges fostered revolutionary thought and provided a space for discussion and planning. This environment helped fuel the movement that eventually led to the overthrow of the monarchy and the birth of a republic. So, in essence, the ideals promoted by Freemasons didn't just inspire change. They helped ignite a profound societal shift in France. And importantly, these principles didn't stay confined to France. They went on to inspire countless other movements worldwide, emphasizing the enduring power of shared ideals in shaping history. Now, moving on to some of the most prominent figures during the French Revolution, let's start with Maximilien Robespierre. Robespierre was a central figure whose actions and ideas were heavily influenced by Enlightenment principles and secret societies. His leadership in the Committee of Public Safety was crucial. He oversaw radical reforms that aimed to reshape France. These reforms weren't just political. They reflected a deep influence from revolutionary organizations that sought to challenge traditional power structures. Robespierre's role exemplifies how secret societies and Enlightenment ideals helped shape the revolutionary ideology and governance during this tumultuous period. Next, we have Napoleon Bonaparte. Interestingly, Napoleon was not a Freemason himself, but he was still influenced by secret societies, especially the Jacobins. His rise to power, which came amidst chaos and upheaval after the Revolution, shows the complex relationship between revolutionary ideals and clandestine political maneuvering. Napoleon's ascent wasn't just about military skill. It was also about navigating the intricate web of revolutionary networks and secret alliances that helped propel him to dominance. This highlights how secret societies played a subtle yet significant role in shaping revolutionary outcomes and the broader political landscape of the time. Now let's take a closer look at the global spread of Freemasonry. As you can see on this slide, Freemasonry didn't remain confined to its origins. it quickly expanded across continents and cultures. This movement, which started in Europe, especially in Britain and France, found its way into North America, Asia, Africa, and beyond. Its appeal was driven by shared values like brotherhood, moral development, and a sense of community, which resonated widely. The key point here is that Freemasonry became a truly international phenomenon, transcending borders and adapting to different societies while maintaining its core principles. This widespread presence played a significant role in shaping social networks, influencing political ideas, and fostering cooperation across diverse groups. Connecting this to our overall theme, the global spread underscores how Freemasonry evolved from a localized fraternity into a powerful, worldwide movement. It illustrates the broader influence of secret societies in shaping history and cultural exchanges across the centuries. Now, moving into the 19th century, we see Freemasonry really expanding its reach beyond Europe. It spread across the Americas, into Africa, and into Asia, and with this expansion came a significant influence on political movements and social reforms in these regions. This wasn't just about establishing local lodges. It was about creating a global network of interconnected Freemasonry communities. These lodges shared core values like enlightenment, fraternity, and democratic ideals, and they promoted these principles across very diverse cultures around the world. As Freemasonry expanded to new continents, it also showed a remarkable ability to adapt to different cultural contexts. It influenced local traditions and practices, which helped it resonate more deeply with various societies. This flexibility was crucial because it allowed Freemasonry to address contemporary social issues in each region, all while championing ideals like liberty, fraternity, and equality. This adaptability and universal appeal contributed greatly to its growth in membership and influence worldwide. Overall, the 19th century was a pivotal period where Freemasonry not only expanded geographically, but also evolved culturally, making it a truly global movement that connected people across different backgrounds through shared values and aspirations. Now, let's take a closer look at some of the key Masonic figures who played influential roles on the world stage. First, we have Simón Bolívar, often called the liberator of Latin America. Bolívar was a central figure in the fight for independence across the continent, and his Masonic membership was more than just a social connection. It deeply influenced his vision for a free and united Latin America. His adherence to Masonic ideals like liberty and equality helped shape his push for democratic governance and social justice, emphasizing that these principles were fundamental to building a new, independent nations. Moving over to Italy, Giuseppe Garibaldi stands out as a pivotal figure in the country's unification. Like Bolívar, Garibaldi's Masonic ties played a significant role in shaping his ideas. The principles of liberty and equality that Freemasonry advocates were central to his strategies and vision for a unified Italy. His Masonic connections helped inspire and organize the movement, demonstrating how these shared ideals could drive large-scale political change. Both Bolívar and Garibaldi exemplify how Freemasonry's core values, liberty, equality, fraternity, can transcend borders and influence major historical movements. Their stories remind us that these principles aren't just abstract ideals. They've been instrumental in shaping the course of nations and advocating for justice and freedom worldwide. Now, moving into the 20th century and beyond, Freemasonry continued to evolve significantly. This period saw the organization adapt to rapid social and technological changes, while still maintaining its core principles. The modern era brought greater transparency and a push for inclusivity, opening up membership to wider groups. At the same time, Freemasonry faced challenges such as skepticism and misunderstanding from the public and authorities, which it has worked to address. Throughout this time, the focus has remained on personal development, brotherhood, and moral uprightness. This ongoing evolution highlights how Freemasonry balances tradition with modernity, ensuring its relevance in today's world while honoring its historical roots. This connects back to our overall theme of how Freemasonry has persisted and adapted through centuries, shaping and reflecting societal changes along the way. On this slide, we're looking at the significant contributions of Freemasons to the war efforts during the World Wars. As many of you know, Freemasons have a long-standing tradition of brotherhood, service, and support, which translated into tangible actions during these challenging times. During the wars, Freemasons played crucial roles beyond just their military service. They were heavily involved in fundraising activities, organizing relief efforts, and providing aid to those affected by the conflicts. Their extensive networks allowed for efficient communication and cooperation, which was vital in coordinating efforts across different regions and armies. Now, among these notable Freemasons, figures like General Douglas MacArthur and General George Marshall stand out. Both of these leaders not only held prominent military positions, but also embodied the principles of Freemasonry, brotherhood, duty, and service. Their leadership helped shape military strategies and fostered international cooperation, which was essential during such complex global conflicts. So, what we see here is that Freemasonry's influence during the World Wars extended beyond individual acts of charity and support. It played a role in shaping leadership, enhancing morale, and facilitating cooperation on a massive scale, truly embodying the values of brotherhood and service that are at the heart of Freemasonry itself. Now, let's take a look at the contemporary influence of Freemasonry today. You'll notice that many notable figures in various fields, actors, politicians, business leaders, are known to be Freemasons. Their involvement keeps the tradition alive and shows how Freemasonry still shapes public perception and policy in subtle but meaningful ways. This ongoing presence emphasizes that Freemasonry remains relevant in modern society, promoting core ideals like brotherhood and charity. Despite the myths and intrigue that often surround it, these principles continue to guide their actions and influence. Beyond individual members, Freemasonry's impact is also visible through its charitable initiatives and community service. These efforts demonstrate a commitment to ethical guidance and social betterment. Furthermore, Freemasonry fosters social connections and personal development, encouraging values like freedom, equality, and brotherhood. These values contribute to broader conversations about civic responsibility and humanitarian efforts across the globe. So, in essence, while Freemasonry may be shrouded in mystery, its contemporary influence remains clear, shaping society through both notable individuals and collective actions aimed at a better world. Now, moving on to a more critical aspect of Freemasonry, let's talk about some of the criticisms and controversies that have surrounded it over the years. Like any organization with a long history, Freemasonry hasn't been immune to suspicion or scrutiny. Some critics have accused it of secrecy and exclusivity, which can sometimes foster misunderstandings or mistrust. Others have raised concerns about its influence in political or financial spheres, suggesting that it might operate behind the scenes to sway decisions. There have also been conspiracy theories suggesting that Freemasons have hidden agendas or secret control over global affairs. While many of these claims are unfounded or exaggerated, they highlight how the organization's private rituals and confidential membership can sometimes fuel suspicion. It's important to recognize that these criticisms often stem from misunderstandings or a lack of transparency, which can be challenging given the very nature of Freemasonry's commitment to privacy. Overall, while controversies exist, many members see Freemasonry as a positive force promoting moral and ethical development. Still, these debates remind us that any influential organization will inevitably attract scrutiny and differing opinions. Now, let's take a look at some of the historical critiques surrounding Freemasonry. Critics often argue that it's a secretive organization that wields influence over political and economic systems behind the scenes. This idea has fueled a lot of conspiracy theories, suggesting that members secretly control societal institutions, which understandably leads to suspicion and controversy. Such perceptions raise questions about transparency and legitimacy in their societal contributions. Moving on, religious opposition is another significant aspect. Many religious groups, especially the Catholic Church, have historically condemned Freemasonry. Their concerns mainly stem from the organization's secrecy and the belief that its teachings might conflict with established religious doctrines. For these groups, Freemasonry is seen as a threat to faith and moral values, which deepens the divide and fuels ongoing opposition. So these critiques, whether about influence, secrecy, or religious conflicts, highlight the complex perceptions that continue to surround Freemasonry even today. Now, let's talk about some of the modern misconceptions surrounding Freemasonry. You might have heard critics say that Freemasonry is all about secrecy and elitism. While it's true that the organization values privacy, these claims often lead to misunderstandings about its actual influence on governments and society. Many myths, like the idea of satanic rituals or world domination plots, tend to flourish because of a lack of understanding and the sensationalism found in popular culture. So, how do we address these controversies? Well, the core issue is that critics often mischaracterize Freemasonry, linking it to conspiracy theories and elitist agendas that simply don't hold up under scrutiny. In reality, Freemasonry is centered around promoting personal growth, charity work, and community service. To counter these misconceptions, it's important to highlight the true values of Freemasonry, values like integrity, charity, and brotherhood, and showcase the positive contributions it has made throughout history. Transparency plays a key role here, helping to dispel myths and demonstrate that Freemasonry's impact is rooted in genuine service and community building, not secret plots or hidden agendas. Remember, understanding these distinctions helps us see Freemasonry in its true light, a force for good that fosters personal development and societal betterment. And so, as we wrap up, I want to highlight the key takeaways from today's presentation. First, we've seen how understanding the core concepts can really transform the way we approach challenges. It's not just about knowing the facts, but about applying them effectively in real-world situations. We've also emphasized the importance of continuous learning and adaptation. The landscape is always changing, and staying flexible is crucial for success. Remember, the most innovative solutions often come from thinking outside the box and embracing new ideas. Finally, I hope this presentation has reinforced the idea that progress is a collaborative effort. By sharing knowledge and working together, we can achieve much more than we could alone. Connecting all these points back to our overall theme, it's really about building a mindset geared toward growth, resilience, and innovation. Thank you for your attention, and I look forward to seeing how you all apply these insights moving forward. As we look at the legacy of Freemasonry and secret societies, it's clear that their impact on society has been profound and lasting. They've played a significant role in shaping our values, especially around philanthropy and governance. Think about how their promotion of Enlightenment ideals, like reason, liberty, and equality, helped foster the development of democracy and human rights worldwide. This isn't just history. It's a foundation that continues to influence our cultural and social structures today. Their ongoing relevance is also evident. These societies have maintained their influence by promoting core principles such as brotherhood, charitable work, and the exchange of ideas. Many prominent historical figures were associated with these groups, which underscores their enduring impact on culture, governance, and social movements. So, even now, they serve as a reminder of the power of shared values and collective effort. Ultimately, their legacy is woven into the fabric of modern civilization. From community principles to broader societal movements, the ideals nurtured within these secret societies continue to inspire and shape the world we live in today. As we look to the future of Freemasonry, one of the most critical aspects is its ability to adapt to the modern world. Society is changing rapidly, and for Freemasonry to stay relevant, it must evolve alongside these changes. That means embracing inclusivity, welcoming people from diverse backgrounds, and emphasizing community service and ethical leadership. These core values are what continue to attract new members and ensure that the organization remains meaningful and impactful. At the same time, it's important to recognize the potential for growth and transformation. By modernizing and integrating new technologies, Freemasonry can reach a broader audience and stay connected in an increasingly digital world. But throughout all these changes, maintaining our foundational principles is essential. It's a balancing act, adapting and innovating, while holding true to the values that define us. In essence, the future of Freemasonry depends on our willingness to evolve thoughtfully, ensuring that we remain relevant and influential for generations to come. When we do this successfully, we not only preserve our legacy, but also strengthen our ability to positively impact society in the years ahead. Thank you all for being part of this journey. Today, on June 9th, 2025, we come together to express our heartfelt thanks. I want to especially acknowledge the Masonic Audiobook Library for their invaluable contribution. Their dedication has truly enriched our experience and understanding. This slide is a moment to reflect on gratitude and appreciation for everyone involved, whether as creators, supporters, or learners. It's a reminder that progress is a collective effort, and recognizing these contributions fosters a sense of community. As we conclude this presentation, I hope you feel inspired to continue exploring, learning, and sharing knowledge. Remember, gratitude fuels growth and connection. So, once again, thank you all for your attention and enthusiasm. Let's keep moving forward together.